guess I joined Better in 2008,
yeah.
and at that point we were a fast expanding chain of shops. So we had somewhere between sort of 20 and 30 when I joined. All those shops were sending in their daily transactions and trading records on white sheets. So we were at the behest of the post office in order to get those into our offices quickly. Once we got them in, we then had to take all the data off each of those white sheets, collect them onto an Excel spreadsheet, and then from the Excel spreadsheet we would then input them into Sage. So we had no real idea how well the business was doing until we got the white sheets, collated them all together and input them into Sage. So the whole thinking behind this was, let's get something which is much more up to date, much quicker, that we can then use as an input into our accounting records.
And how easy was it to set up this system?
It was relatively easy because the current system was so flawed, and so we looked at it and thought, okay, this is what we've got, we know where we want to get to, let's work backwards. So we knew what the output wanted to be, and we actually worked backwards, and then from that it was a case of myself and my financial controllers, who are just very good with spreadsheets and systems and pivot tables, actually organising the journal entries, and from that we then created boxes on the system that we wanted to populate, which would give us the data which we could then use to update the accounting records.
Okay, and what were the biggest benefits you found once you started using the system?
The biggest benefit was actually cutting out an awful lot of time that was involved in collating the data together, recreating the data that's already been created, then having to input it into Sage. What we did, we created a system where it was the export from the online system then became the import into Sage. So that took all that out. From a control aspect, one of the best benefits of the system is once you save the data at the end of the day, you have to commit the data where it all balances. If it doesn't balance, it then throws up a problem that you've got on the day, or a cash difference, or a variance that has occurred during that day. And we almost encourage the shop managers to, if you really can't find it, commit it with the difference, and we can then go in and look at it the next day. So yeah, that was the main difference.
And would you recommend the ShopWorks reporting site to another company?
Absolutely, and I have done. I have done two or three times already, because it makes use of modern technology, which just saves time, effort, cost, and it's just a much more efficient way. And all the time, like we get a report at 6 o'clock in the evening, so we know how well we've traded during the afternoon. We get a report at 10:30 at night that gives me the records of all 78 shops that we've now got, how everyone has traded during that day.
Wow.
That then adds up, so that you've actually got the week figure. If I know that our break even is, say, £350,000 per week, if I've only had a gross win of 200,000, I'm £150,000 short of cash. I've got people to pay the next week, I've got salaries to pay, I've got suppliers to pay. I'm suddenly have a problem because we haven't traded well enough, and that's something which, in the old system where people were sending in white sheets, I'd have to add them all together to actually realise that's how far we were in the streak. So that's one of the main benefits, I think.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Mike Lampford.